What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I wanted to throw my hat in the arena for The Day Before. I've been watching this game from afar. I've been watching this game for a long time, and I've been watching as every step of the way, this game is not an actual real game. Now, that's a tough thing to say. That's an aggressive thing to say. It's not all that aggressive. You type in The Day Before on YouTube, and tell me the first 10 videos you get, it's all these channels talking about it being a scam and being fake. Now, I pride myself in how I covered Abandon and the saga, the journey, the epic journey, really, we went on with Abandon. This is honestly on a different level. That I would argue for as crazy. Now, Abandon is nuts. Hassan is nuts. And that whole thing and people interviewing him and catching him in lies and that was so much fun to me. And so maybe this is kind of my true calling card in life. But that was extreme in one sense, but not necessarily extreme in the sense of, I feel like The Day Before is trying to fake it way more and probably doing a worse job than Abandon. This game has kind of been sketchy right from the beginning. If you don't know what this game was announced a while ago, and this is kind of like the Division mixed with The Last of Us. It looks incredible. It looks incredible, but it's all very contained, right? That's always been the thing with this game, is it looks kind of like a dream, kind of almost too good to be real. And from the beginning, there's been these sketchy kind of things where it's like, well, where's the game? Number one, where's the release date? When's this game coming out? But also, where's actual footage? You kind of sold it in terms of this dream kind of game. And this game, again, a little bit different than Abandon, this game is gigantic in terms of its following. You look at the videos covering this game, they do massive numbers. Not just that, though. You go on Steam, this game has routinely, for the last long time, been at the top, whether it be number 1 or number 2 on Steam's wish list. That is extremely popular, right, to be able to do that. So the most recent info we got on it was actually last night, and it really is the final nail in the coffin, I would argue, for this game. Basically, I'll show the picture, you can read it, but to kind of skim over it, basically, they got approval from their legal team to show gameplay, but then all of a sudden, the game was delisted from the store, from Steam, the store page, gone, not there anymore. And including, I believe, also all the trailers or pictures of the game as well. So they issued a statement, and it was very odd, okay? Like, originally, they talked about it actually being a bug. It was a bug that it was completely removed from Steam, okay? So that's definitely some sort of bug. Then, once people really started kind of going after them, they released another statement saying a couple things. Number one, this game was supposed to launch, I believe, March 1st. This game was actually, and I don't think this is the first time, but it was getting relatively close. Like, look at your calendar. We're about a month away, as of last night, from when this game was supposed to come out. And again, we didn't see anything. And they talk about how they had to go through their legal team to show gameplay, like it's some sort of favor. Like they're doing us a solid by doing that, when it's like, but you're a month away, and don't you think we're kind of almost owed it? I think we're owed it because we need to see the game before you buy the game. So it was all very odd just in the first place. But then the newest statement, the game got delayed all the way till November. Now, here's the thing. The game's not coming out, right? Being delayed from March to November, number one, that's a huge delay, but it's also not the first delay. But that is gigantic, all things considered. So the game was delisted, but they say it's a bug. They were getting ready to show gameplay. Everybody's excited. And then you move it by half a year. So what happened? Well, literally, what is going on with the game? They also talked about how it was removed because basically copyright. Basically, the name The Day Before is not okay to some, I believe a private individual is what they wrote. So you're telling me, you want me to believe this, that because this is believable, that a game that's this popular, that's been around for this long. Like, this game didn't get announced last month. This game has been around for a while. It's existed on the internet. It's existed on Steam. People can wishlist it. Millions, I assume, have wishlisted it. And you're telling me you never did the legal work, even though you talk about your legal team like they're, sitting right next to you. Your legal team didn't tell you that nobody brought it up, that the title is an issue. So the literal title, and see, honestly, again, bringing back Abandoned and Hassan, I don't think this is clever, but you can probably already see the wheels in motion, right? So like it was delisted. They promise gameplay, but they don't have it. So they delist the game. They come up with some, BS excuse. They delay the game, but they also talk about one of the main issues with the game is not even necessarily the game itself, it's the title. So now what happens? Now, if they want to continue this, and again, throwing the word scam around is tough because did they make money off this? And I know a lot of people are sticklers when it comes to, well, if there's no money transaction, you can't call it a scam, Alex. I've seen that before with Abandon. But the idea is they obviously do at some point want you to purchase a fake game. So, there's that kind of thing. But you can see the wheels, right? So eventually, if they want to keep this thing up, it's probably not going to be called The Day Before. They're going to change the name. So will people forget about it? Will they lose some interest? Will they gain some interest in other kind of areas, right? It seems like they're trying to pivot and hide from one thing, whereas maybe starting another thing. Like you can see it kind of in real time. So it's fascinating. This game's fascinating. And again, this game has always been odd. I remember watching the trailer the very first day it went out. I think IGN was a pretty big pusher of this kind of stuff because it looks so good, and it really looked like the best mix you could think of The Last of Us mixed with Division, mixed with maybe some other things. Like, it looks fantastic, but the issue has been it's always been contained. We haven't seen it, and that's the thing with the the gaming industry. I know everybody's afraid of spoilers, and I'm talking even like the developers. Everybody's afraid of spoilers. Everybody's afraid of like showing you too much. Everybody's afraid of leaks happening. But like there needs to be some transparency. You can't go full talkative on us for anybody, not just this game, because now not everybody does scams like this, but this can happen. And when you don't talk, when you don't show gameplay, when you're a month out of a game and you've shown very little, there's a reason people are a little. You look at this is not to throw it under the bus at all because I literally cannot wait. But like Jedi Survivor, when I'm recording this, we have like 3 minutes of footage of Jedi Survivor. The game comes out in a month and a half. Now, I'm not saying the game's doomed. I think the game is probably going to be a Game of the Year contender. But when people get worried about it, and you can use any other game as an example, Jedi Survivor is just one that popped in my head. I mean, like, I kind of defend the people that are like threatening to get gameplay, right? Like demanding, like, we need it or else, that kind of stuff. Obviously, there's lines you don't want to cross or you shouldn't cross, but I get it because, like, well, what about this kind of situation? Like, you just don't know. There's a fine line of how much you're supposed to show of a game. You have to at least show enough of the game to have people believe it's real. Jedi Survivor doesn't have that issue, right? EA doesn't have that issue. This game, it has that issue. There's not sufficient proof that says that this game is a real game. And then all the sketchy behavior and delisting it and then lying about it. You lied about it. You lied about it because you literally said it was a bug, but then you came back a few hours later and said that it was removed because basically of copyright because of the name. So it wasn't a bug then. So you lied. So how am I supposed to trust you already because you lied within like 2 hours of yourself? You know what I mean? So that is what this game has always been. And it's fascinating, and I love this stuff because it really doesn't happen that much in the gaming industry, which is a good thing. We don't want this kind of thing happening all the time in the game. It would definitely, I guess, keep things more, upbeat and aggressive, I would say. But we don't really want these kind of situations to happen all the time, but they're fun when they do. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. Make sure you guys are subscribed, bell icon turned on, and I'll see you all on the next one.